Hi there. My name is Andrew Watts, and my goal is to write a complete novel in only 30 days. What the hell am I doing? Hello there, welcome to day 3. I'm Andrew Watts. Yes, that's right, Andrew Watts, in case you didn't recognize me. Shaved the beard. I had originally grown it for Halloween costume. I went as a pirate. We do a thing every year up the street for the kids, and then I decided to keep it because I don't know. The beard kind of gave me this sort of riderly look, which I thought might help me in my quest for 1,700 pages a day. But I've decided I don't need the crutch, so I shaved, and also it feels a hell of a lot better, and certainly my wife is happier. Now, today's total, I wrote 4,000, well, I should say the total is 4,905. I didn't actually write as much today as I had hoped, but you know what, I'm not giving myself a hard time about it. That's just the way it is. Some days are better than others, and I still wrote around 1,400 words, so, give me a break. But also, I decided that this whole thing about reporting my progress, you can go check it out online at www.nanowrimo.org. What I really want to do is start reading. I looked at some of these that I've recorded, and they're boring as hell. And really, it's all about the work. So what I'd like to do for you is start reading stuff that I've written, and I'm going to start at the very beginning. So sit back, relax, or sit forward and leave, or do whatever you want to do. But I'm going to read from my novel in progress, and it's called Young Heart. And Part 1, Chapter 1. After Rachel Tillett was raped, she couldn't stop herself from zeroing her memory back to that moment when she had first made her mistake. The most obvious candidate was when she'd gotten into his car. That was the likely point at which her life had changed forever, because in that instant, she'd been given a choice. He hadn't coerced her. He'd only sat there with the engine running and a goddamn smile on his face. That smile and the bitterly cold, rain-slicked highway were reasons enough for Rachel to opt for the comfort and warmth of his black Mercedes. But she also knew that these kinds of connections were more complicated than that. The series of choices she had made leading up to that moment were every bit as significant, and in some ways were more so since they were so easily made and so lazily dismissed. Her decision to wait for a cheaper price at the Citgo on Route 9 had led her to ignore the looming E of her gas gauge. Money was tight, and the few cents per gallon off seemed to make it worth the wait. She'd driven the bug on fumes many times before. She could certainly do it again. But surely that had been her first critical error. For had she put in a couple of bucks worth of fuel the minute the thought crossed her mind, she never would have ended up by the side of the road with an empty tank. Instead, she might have passed that black Mercedes on the shadowy highway without knowing it was even there, just one more anonymous existence that bore no relevance to hers. She might even have pulled up next to the car at a traffic light, glanced over to admire its sleek, shiny blackness, and wondered how she would look driving such an exquisite machine. She might also have admired the sleek, shiny GQ looks of the driver, wondering if he screwed as good as he looked. But when the light turned green, she would have left those idle, adulterous thoughts behind and driven home to her family. Or maybe her mistake had been made long before that. Maybe it had been her original decision to take the night class at the university in the first place. The same class was offered in the afternoon, but she had preferred the evening instructor, who was a painter of renown, and someone from whom she would learn more than the hack who taught the 2 o'clock course. Wouldn't she have been much safer driving home after the earlier class, at 5 at the beginning of rush hour, when the highway was mobbed with cars and the sun was still fairly high in the autumn sky? Or Rachel might have decided not to take the class at all. She might have chosen not to marry Jeff and could have accepted the teaching job in Utah instead. That would have moved her out of the city altogether and put her 2,000 miles from that dark highway where the sewing machine engine of her beat-up Volkswagen Bug sputtered and died on the shoulder of Interstate 91.